Hey, how's it going, everyone? It's Chadwick, your IT specialist, and in today's video we are doing something kind of different. We're going to be doing a PC build on PC Part Picker, and on today's build we're going to be doing the most bang for buck streaming and gaming PC at 1080p quality. So, PC that's going to be good enough to game at 1080 no matter what, and then add streaming on top of it for competitive esports games. I think this is going to be a great build. I'm hoping to keep it under 16 to 1700 with everything included. So that's monitor, mouse, keyboard, and then the computer itself. I know with power supplies and everything, everything's going to be a little bit higher, but hopefully we can find something that's in stock. All products will be in stock when we do this build. As of today, July 14th, 2020 is when I'm recording this video. All these prices are as of today, so availability and prices may vary once you do watch this video. Let's get into it and kind of see what we're going to be dealing with today. Doing a Ryzen build, preferably a Ryzen 3600X, just because you get that 6 cores, 12 threads, so you're going to be able to keep up with the multitasking at a reasonable price. If I remember correctly, the AMD CPUs right now are still sitting at, I think, 219 was the last time I saw it. But here we have the Ryzen 5 3600X at $217.99. With this being budget build in mind, I think I am still going to stick with that. It's just maybe $2 cheaper than the last time I saw it. We are going to add a aftermarket CPU cooler, just because if you have a more efficient cooler, you're going to get better clock speeds. I think with how we want to have this build, we want it nice, sleek, easy, good looking. We pay $1 more and we get that black edition. I think that's going to look really nice if this build ever gets done. And with motherboards, we have something new and exciting. The B550s are actually in market. They're at reasonable prices, so I think we might end up going with one of those today. B550A Pro from MSI. It has the USB Type-C header. It has 24 pin for power, 8 pin for CPU power, 3.0 to USB 2.0. We got front panel, system fan. I think we have 4 system fans headers on just this one board. This might actually be a good option. I will consider this. I think, honestly, I might have to just go with that MSI. Sure, we're missing out on some RGB or stuff like that, but we are getting a good, solid board with a lot of features and a lot of fan headers that are going to help us out if we ever have to, keep up with the system, add more fans to keep it nice and cool. And at $140, that is a reasonable price with everything that we're getting with that motherboard. Onto memory, like I said, we're doing price per performance, so can't really speak there. So with price per performance, that's a tongue twister. We don't want to shell out money just for RGB and this, that, the other thing. We want to make sure that it's a reasonable price and we're still getting awesome specs. So with something like this, we can do a 3600 speed, 16 CAS latency, and we can get RGB out of there because that saves us anywhere between $20 and $30. So right here is a good example. We have this G.Skill Ripjaws 16 gigabyte 2x8 gigabyte sticks, DDR4 3600 speed with 16 CAS latency at $75.99. If you wanted to get RAM like this with RGB, that's definitely going to be an additional $30-$40 right there. I think I'm going to have to add this to my list here, just because that's a reasonable price for what you're getting. We'll add that into our cart. Now with storage, I like to do two things. I always like to get a small to medium range SSD for the boot drive, preferably now NVMe, just for those faster boot times, especially with a B550 board. You can do the Gen 4 PCI Express. So let's add the storage, and then I would just do this 2 terabyte Seagate for $55 basically, which is a steal for what they used to be. Right now we're trying to go for bang for buck, $65 for an NVMe Western Digital Blue. I think that is a great deal. Now on to video cards. For this, I've been doing a lot of different research and depending on what we should go with. So right here we have the EVGA KO Ultra Gaming with the 6 gigabytes of video memory, like I mentioned, and boosting up to 1755 megahertz boost clock. And that's at $319.99, which for that, I think that is a great deal. You get a lot more, especially just comparing it with this MSI Ventus. You're getting a lot more out of it when you push it to its limits. And it's at $20 cheaper for better specs. So we're going to be adding this to our cart as well. Now the graphics card is something that we can always upgrade in the future, especially with the 3000 series coming out later this year. But this is going to get you out the gate streaming and gaming in 1080p, no problem with competitive games. Now with a case, we want to make sure that we get something solid, but not something that's overly expensive. We don't want to be spending $150 in a case, not even $100 in a case. The sweet range is anywhere between $60 and $70 for a decent case that's going to be solid, easy to build in, and offers additional airflow. The Fantex Eclipse, you're getting great airflow because it is that mesh front case. You get 2 exhaust fans out of the back, and also just, I mean, look at how much airflow you actually get through there. That's going to be perfect for this build. You won't ever have to worry about it overheating, and you're going to get great thermals. So we'll be adding that to our cart as well. Our next thing is power supply. So right now we live in a kind of weird market where power supplies are here or there. We never know when we have something fully in stock. The one things I really like to look for is that it is 80 plus gold rated, just for that higher efficiency. Copper and silver, they just aren't cutting it anymore. You can get a 80 plus gold for under $100. So if you can find one of those, definitely recommend picking it up. Now I always suggest getting either a 650 or 750. I always push for the 750 just in case if you have to make any additional upgrades in the future where you don't have to worry about needing to upgrade your power supply when you upgrade your parts. And then the next best thing I look for is modular versus semi-modular. Modular is great because you can do so much with it, but it increases the cost. For semi-modular, you can still customize how many cables and stuff you use. And the only one that's pretty standard that you can't replace is the 24 pin. So with that in mind, I think we're going to adjust our settings a little bit and just kind of play around with what's out there. So here we have our list. So we have a few options here actually. So we have the Cooler Master MWE Gold. That's a 750 watt 80 plus gold. And let's see what we're looking at here. Amazon does have this in stock for $126.99. What does Best Buy have this at? Because if we can get a 750 for, what is this, $119.99 in today's market. I mean, okay, we're going to be paying $7 more. We can get it from Amazon. It is in stock through there. Cooler Master makes decent power supplies, nothing to rave about, but they will get you through no matter what. I think something like this is definitely going to be suitable for what we need, and that is in stock as well. That's the thing, is we want to make sure that everything is in stock here because we want to basically be able to build this computer, say we want to build it right now. Of course, we need to add a operating system, Windows 10 Home, boom, easy to go. Next thing is a monitor. So we want to have a 1080p monitor with 1 millisecond response time. So in here, we can finally see a more suitable list for everything that we want to look at. We have this Optics G27C. That is a 1 millisecond VGA panel. Or we have the LG, same specs. But we want to make sure that we keep this at a reasonable price. Here we have an AOC C27G1. AOC makes nice monitors. It is a VA panel, but honestly, if we're trying to keep our costs down, we might have to deal with it. It won't hurt you in the long run, if anything. Sure, you might not have the brightest colors or anything, but you are still going to get a great experience out of it. I think we might go with this AOC just because it is $185. That is a great deal for what you're getting out of the monitor itself. Now we're left with a headset, keyboard, and mouse, because you need the headset to be able to do audio recording and hear what's going on in game. keyboard and mouse to do stuff in game as well. So let's get onto those things. Headphones. So we want to keep it reasonable. We don't want to just, be flashing our money on these kind of things, because they can be a reasonable product for right now, and then later down the road you can always upgrade and get something that's a lot nicer. With that in mind, I think we can do something like this Corsair HS35. It is $40. It's a nice, simple to use headset. I believe this is USB. If not, it is 3.5 millimeter, and this is going to be something that's going to work out great for $40 right out of the bat. So we'll get that, and then we'll get on to our keyboards. So with here, we can just go with something basic, just like the Corsair K55 RGB at $50. That's not a bad price for a gaming keyboard with, the hotkeys and everything that you can get with it. So we'll get that added to the cart, and then we move on to our mice. So with that, we'll load this up, and right here we have like the Razer Death Adder Elite for $40, and then we have like the Logitech G203 Prodigy for $33.48, Logitech G402 for $23. I think we might have to pick up the G402 just at that price. Let's get that added to cart. And besides that, I think we're looking done. So we're going to be doing this build with a Ryzen 5 3600X, a Cooler Master Hyper 212 Black Edition with an MSI B550 motherboard, 16 gigabytes of G.Skill Ripjaws RAM, 500 gigabytes of Western Digital NVMe for the boot drive, 2 terabytes with a Seagate hard drive, a 2060 KO from EVGA, Fantex to clip case, Cooler Master power supply, and of course Windows 10, the AOC monitor, Corsair keyboard, Logitech mouse, and Corsair headset. Total today comes to $15.05 with everything included. This is before taxes or shipping. With a build like this, you're going to get great performance right out of the gate. I would personally do something like this. I actually did a build like this not too long ago, and I've already made quite a few upgrades to it. Of course, I didn't do the KO. I did a regular 2060. I did the G.Skill RAM, and I upgraded to the G.Skill Neos. I've done a few things along the way. But something like this is going to be great. You're going to be able to start out no problem and get something awesome going to, game and do everything that you need to. Besides that, I think this might be something that we'll continue to keep doing for the channel. Leave your comments down below of what you maybe want to see next. I'm thinking either the super high-end gaming PC or the lowest budget gaming PC that we could possibly do for at least 1080p gaming at 60 FPS. We're not going to worry about streaming. We're going to look at the very high top end or very low end. So leave your comments down below of which one you would prefer to see. We'll be back around mid-August with doing another video like this. And until the next one, I will see you guys soon. Have a good day.